What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I was thinking, what doesn't make sense to me is how America can be this booming, prosperous country for so many years, have an economy that's doing great right now, and then you have people that's running around the U.S. contemplating socialism. I wonder if they really knew the impact of socialism, would they still be, yeah, well, it sounds good to me. I saw the Democratic Socialist Conference, and I'm watching these idiots on the internet just talking crazy. I mean, the ideas that was coming out of their head, the things they were focused on, things they were complaining about, all of their little isms and schisms. You have to think to yourself, if they ever got power, they would take away all of your freedoms and tell you that they're liberating you. Now, that's an oxymoron. Let me give you an example. You know, I like to use all types of analogies and examples. See, socialism creates the false idea of freedom. Now, let's give you an example. Say a fish. When you look at the basic necessities of life, you look at food, you look at water, you look at shelter. If you turn those things over to whoever, you now become enslaved to whoever. Every decision that you make revolves around whether they're going to take away your food, your water, or your shelter. Real freedom comes from having the ability to provide those things for yourself, and now you're not a slave to anybody. If they say, you know what, I'm not going to work with you no more, so what? I know how to fish, hunt, I know how to get my own water, I know how to do all of these things on my own, so what you do or don't do doesn't impact me. I don't have to weigh in with you on anything. I'm completely free. But when you surrender those basic necessities over to the government, over to anybody, you might think you're free, but it's false freedom. And you'll know that when it's time to vote and you go, I don't even like this candidate. But if I don't vote for this candidate, it could affect the resources that they're giving me. So let's just use an analogy. A fish, okay? Fish that are in captivity are living a false sense of freedom. I had a client had this elaborate fish tank. I mean, I'm talking, it was designed just like it was an ocean, salt water, all of that stuff, the pH levels. They controlled all the stuff within it. Nighttime, it'll drop in some pellets, clear up the water. Fish swimming around in a tank that was fairly large, probably about the width of this car. But yet at the same time, everything that the fish was experiencing was controlled by somebody that the fish was not aware is controlling the situation. People on the outside looking into the fish tank like, look at the stupid fish. They think they're making progress and going somewhere, but no, we have our eyes on them. We know how much food to give them. We know when to give them their food. They have to wait on us to give them their food. We know when to change the water, when not to change the water. We control the whole environment. We know how to put little castles down there for them to sleep in and little seaweed in there for them to hide in the bush. We're controlling the whole setting. So even though the fish might think that it's free, it's not. Versus the fish out there in the ocean, where when they want to eat, they eat. Wherever they want to travel, they can travel. There's nobody out there watching them, controlling their environment, dictating when they eat, when they don't eat, how far they can go. So the fish in the tank is just swimming in circles, thinking he's putting some distance on himself. Oh, look at me. I'm making progress. I'm going places. No, you're not. You're only going to go as far as the person who controls the fish tank allow you to go. But the fish in the ocean can go as far as it wants. It can eat as much as it wants to eat. It really is a free animal because nobody controls what he does, where he goes, how he does it, how much he eats, how much he doesn't eat. Nobody takes the food in the ocean and distribute it out equally amongst everybody. You kill what you eat, okay? So when it comes down to socialism, when you start looking at the government, and I still to this day don't know why anybody would be okay with this, surrendering your freedom. When you look, you may think it's free. If you're sitting back saying, you know what, I'm on welfare, I'm on food stamps, I get whatever, all these social benefits, you may think that this creates freedom for you. Maybe you just lay around the house and do nothing, or, whatever it is you do. You're like, well, heck, I don't have to worry about eating. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to stay because they pay for my housing and whatever. I don't have to worry about those things. But then here's the slavery. Here's the lack of freedom. Well, you could only make so much money because we're helping you. You could only live in certain areas because we're paying for you. Okay. You could only buy so much food because we give you money for that food. You could only have certain people live with you because we're paying for your housing. There are limits to that. And if you decide to go out on your own and become completely independent, we'll take all that away from you. And not to mention, we have created this controlled environment for you so long, and you've gotten so used to it. If you decide to try to step out on your own like that, most likely you won't make it. So now you take those fish in that fish tank. As much as that environment appears to simulate freedom, the real ocean, you take those fish out, throw them in the real ocean, they wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make it at all. They wouldn't know what fish to interact with. They wouldn't be able to adjust to cold and hot temperatures, and the pollution might be in there and the water and all that stuff. They wouldn't make it. They're used to having everything given to them by whoever created the fish tank. Same thing when you create a codependent element in our society. You look at inner cities, you look at certain demographics, all these people that they say, let's give them stuff, let's give them stuff. No, you're gonna pay for it one way or another with your lack of freedom. So that is a false sense of freedom. Oh, I'm getting free stuff, so I'm free. No, you're not. You're not free. My dogs right now, they would never survive if I just opened the door and said, Sammy, Caesar, it's been nice knowing you, but the relationship's over. You two, Gizmo, all of you get out. They would stand outside my door. They would wait for me to open the door because they're saying, well, wait a minute. Where's the food and the water? We're expecting that. They wouldn't know to go and hunt. Back in the day, when we had dogs that didn't stay in the house or wasn't out on a leash, those dogs went out, found their own food, brought it back home somehow, went, drank water. But guess what? They can roam all over the neighborhood as much as they want. They didn't have to wait for me to let them out. None of that stuff. They were free. And they knew how to survive outside of what I provided for them. So when you embrace or even think about socialism, you might think that, yeah, this sounds good. I'm not going to have to pay for school. I'm not going to have to pay for this and that. No, you're going to have to pay one way or another. And you're giving up your freedom. That's the cost of socialism. Let me give you my freedom, and then you give me some free stuff. And now I cannot do anything outside of you and what you allow me to do. Now, hopefully people will put this message in their pipe and smoke it. You've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Don't forget to check me out every Wednesday night, which is tonight, on YouTube, and also live at 7:30, and on my radio blog talk show. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. And check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like something, click on the link below and put my name in the promo code Kevin. You get a 20% discount. And then finally, find me on Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link in the bottom of this video to do that. And don't forget to remain free while you're out there. All right. God bless.